everyone, I'm Clement. I'm not sure what's the topic posted there, but I remember I commenting something about social media and the impact of learning, not just on Facebook. So, what I posted, if what I recall, is that I did ask about this question: will it stifle the ability to think for themselves, to conclude or come up with some learning that will encourage them to think out of the box? Because if everything is online, they'll follow what they read. They'll see what they see on a video. They can't innovate. They can't be creative in that sense. So that's the topic I'm raising up. Yes, we want to embrace social media. We want to embrace Twitter feeds, videos from YouTube, and so on. But what do you think? Are we really spoon-feeding them too much from the web that they cannot think for themselves in certain aspects? So I throw this to the audience. It's just a free play contribution by all. Yeah.
Maybe I share my experiences with my son. Actually, I got the iPad more for him, and I allowed him to use the iPad. Of course, he started talking about balancing here, right? So he used it more for learning playing drum and his guitar, more of that. So which I think more benefits than the con, more pro than con. Yeah. It's matter how we let them use it, what channel they go to. Yeah.
Okay, good. That's a good point. We do learn through videos playing the drums, like what you said. That's what I did for our students. We actually learned how to do certain experiments, certain kind of programming codes, and so on. So the students actually learn. Certain aspects, yes, it does help. But if we want to encourage creativity, how do we go about encouraging them then? For my case, it's a bit like flying a kite. I give some tips or pull a bit to guide them, then let go and so on. So that's my experience. I don't give up everything. I don't share everything. Of course, if sometimes I ask them to search for themselves, they just search for some model answers kind of thing, and they stick to it. And that's it. That's all I have. This is what everyone is contributing. And that's the thing about social media. When you share your solution, some of your peers, student peers, share about, this is what I think it is, and so on, and all agrees to it. All agree to it, and that's it. They all concur the same thing. So, any other experiences that you have that you can share that you can help to encourage creativity from the students' point of view?
I'm not sure, but I think that there's one element Dr. Z shared with us before, is the fund of knowledge. The child who has the fund of knowledge, they have the experience. And actually, if you look at the kids nowadays, they will not just accept what their friends say. They actually would say, no, I don't agree. It's how we construct or organize the discussion that allowed them to, that is telling them at the start there's no right or wrong, is how you present your ideas and encourage them to share. I think it's the culture in the classroom.
Okay. That's a good point.
I was just going to say, I think that whole funds of knowledge argument, if you don't know that one, like, we all have funds of knowledge, right? So we can learn something from anyone in our classes too. But one of the ways I encourage creativity in my classes, I'll say, okay, you have to present, but you can use anything but PowerPoint. And I may give them some options, here's 5 options, but kind of forcing them outside of their comfort zone. And do the students like this? No, they hate it at first, right? Until they actually find another tool and they're like, wow, this is pretty cool. But that's just one of the ways that I try to do it, is force them to be creative by using some of the stuff that's already out there.
That's a good point, but let me be the devil's advocate. It also depends on the maturity of the students, right? So they have to be a bit more able to take initiative, do some search and so on. So what happens if you encounter students who just want to rely on others? Maybe out of class of 30, you have 10 of them who just say anything goes. let the better ones do. We just follow. So how do you get that participation? Throw it to the floor.
Recently, I just read this sharing session that you have for writing composition. 4 of them will be in one group. They will have to write a composition one by one, but after you write, for example, one paragraph, you have to pass your compo to the next person to continue. So the one composition become 4 composition. So that will allow everyone to participate because you have to write there and then you will create 4 composition in a group by 4 person. So that's how you encourage participants to actually.
Okay, good point. Yeah, rotate the task so that they get to contribute. That's a good point. Anyone else? Yes?
Students not being willing to work isn't something that I encounter very often where I work. They're not perfect little angels, but they are generally motivated. That being said, occasionally what I will do, and actually I've just done this with an H3 group, and they're even more motivated. What I've done is I gave them 3 essays and I told them to form themselves into groups of 3 and play around with the numbers. But the idea is a group of 3, they're going to produce an answer to each of the 3 H3 essays. How they do that is entirely up to them. So what it could be is each student writes an essay as in an ordinary piece of work. What I have said to them, however, is that they will hand in the work together and they will get the same marks for those 3 essays. So if one person works really hard and gets a distinction, the other 2 don't do anything, get an unclassified, then the distinction person gets 2 unclassifieds to go. The idea is to give them an incentive, which economists think a lot about, to then work collaboratively with that.
That's good, Shane. For my case, because I teach in ITE, we have quite a few students who are not that motivated to contribute. So what I do is I break the task, break it into smaller tasks, and tell them this is what you're supposed to achieve. For the better ones, they want to achieve more. They want to get good grades. So they want to go for the higher grade. So for those who are not motivated, I'll say, okay, let's do this minimum. Then you get this, okay, I'll let you have this grade. And that they will do that. They just want to have the minimum. So I guess this is how I manage them. Because better than they don't do at all, at least they do the minimum. To do something that they can contribute. I'm talking about individual contribution tasks. In terms of group work, I tend to pair stronger ones with the weaker ones. But I also encourage the stronger ones to give the weaker ones opportunity to contribute. Because there's also a tendency that the stronger one dominates the whole task. And of course they will feel, those weaker ones will feel demoralized and so on. So this is what I do for my teaching role. Anyone else want to share your experiences?
I'll share another one. I have them marked together, so they grade each other based on their participation. So if it's a grade of 4, they have to give someone else, or they have to grade themselves along with everyone else in their group, and they have to grade. For example, if it's out of say 10 points, they have to give someone a 10, someone an 8, someone a 6, and someone a 4. So they can't just give everyone a 10. And then those are obviously, they're confidential. I'm the only one that sees them. But that also, in my experience, what it's happened, and I've done it with master students all the way down to, I guess secondary 7 and 8, maybe? That is secondary 7 and 8, you're right? 9, 10. When's secondary start?
College? Junior college?
Yeah, that. Yeah. So yeah, them. So I've done it all the way from the levels, and it also makes them appreciate the grading procedure once they have to start grading each other and themselves. And you know, some of them are very hard on themselves, some of them are very hard on their classmates, but it all evens out in the end, and you can get a pretty. They have to also not only give them a score, they have to comment on why they gave them that score, and that again, it's not always popular, but it works.
Yeah, peer evaluation. That's right. Yeah, I guess you learn from each other all these tricks or tips, and I think my time is up. Okay, just last thing to add is that I'm glad to be here to be able to hear from you and to learn from you. So I think just be able to continue to have such a conference for us to iron sharpen iron. Okay, thanks.